His paintings are among the most recognized in the world. Swirling skies, radiant sunflowers, and haunted self. But behind the canvas was a man tormented by inner demons. This is the story of Vincent van Gogh, the misunderstood genius who never lived to see the mark he would leave on the world of art. Vincent Willem van Gogh was born on March 30th, 1853, in the small village of Zundert, Netherlands. He was named after his stillborn brother, also called Vincent, a haunting fact that followed him his entire life. His father, Theodorus van Gogh, was a minister, and his mother, Anna Carbentos, was a serious woman with a love for nature, flowers, and painting. Young Vincent was quiet, often described as intense, withdrawn, and overly sensitive. At age 16, Vincent was apprenticed to an art dealership, Goupil and C. He moved between The Hague, London, and Paris. While he enjoyed selling art at first, a growing disillusionment with the commercial side of the art world left him bitter. He found himself deeply depressed, heartbroken by an unrequited love, and eventually he was dismissed from the company. In his 20s, Van Gogh sought meaning beyond material success. He turned to religion, attempting to become a pastor like his father. He studied theology but failed the entrance exams. Still determined, he became a missionary in the coal mining district of Borinage in Belgium, known as the region of the damned. There, Vincent gave up all comforts, choosing to live among the poorest. He slept on floors, gave away his belongings, and preached to the miners, but the church authorities thought he had gone mad, too extreme. He was dismissed. This rejection broke something in him, but it also lit a spark. Vincent began to draw. By 1880, at age 27, Van Gogh decided to become an artist late by most standards. He was largely self-taught, sketching peasants, landscapes, and laborers. Inspired by Gianfranco Mirando Rembrandt, Vincent saw beauty in ordinary life. His early works were dark, earthy, and raw, like The Potato Eaters, a somber painting showing a family around a meal, their faces weathered by hardship. But it was his move to Paris in 1886 that changed everything. Living with his brother, Theo, an art dealer who supported him emotionally and financially, Vincent was introduced to Impressionism. He met artists like Pissarro, Monet, and Gauguin. That color exploded in his works. He began to paint with rapid brush, bold outlines, and unnatural hues, laying the foundation for what would become his unmistakable style. In 1888, Van Gogh moved to Arles in southern France. He rented a small home, the now famous Yellow House. Here, he dreamed of creating a community of artists. He painted feverishly: sunflowers, wheat fields, cafe nights, his room, all became subjects. He hoped to be joined by other painters to form a creative brotherhood. Only one came, Paul Gauguin. For a time, their collaboration was electric, but tensions rose. Vincent was intense, obsessive. Gauguin was egotistical, distant. Their arguments escalated. But then, one December night, Van Gogh snapped. In a moment of madness, he cut off part of his own ear. He wrapped it in cloth and handed it to a woman at a brothel. He was institutionalized shortly after. Van Gogh admitted himself to an asylum in St. There, he continued to paint more prolifically than ever. The garden, the hills, the corridors of the hospital all became his muses, and it was here in 1889 that he painted the Starry Night, a masterpiece of emotion, movement, and color. The village lies in slumber, while the heavens swirl with cosmic force. It was not a literal depiction, it was an inner vision, what he saw in his mind, not just his eyes. He wrote to Theo. Why? I ask myself. Shouldn't the shining dots of the sky be as accessible as the black dots on the map of France? Just as we take the train to or Rouen, we take death to reach a star. In 1890, Van Gogh moved to Auvers-sur-Oise to be closer to Theo. He was under the care of Dr. Paul Gay, an eccentric physician and amateur artist. The towns, fields, cottages, and people filled his final canvases. He painted more than 70 works in just 2 months. But inside, his spirit was unraveling. He worried he was a burden to Theo, whose health and finances were also failing. On July 27, 1890, Van Gogh walked into a field and shot himself in the chest. He stumbled back to the inn and died 2 days later. With Theo at his side, he was only 37 years old. Van Gogh sold only 1 painting during his life. He died in obscurity, labeled mad. But his brother Theo believed in his genius. After Vincent's death, Theo worked to promote his art, but he too died within months. It was Theo's widow, Johanna Wangobonga, who preserved and exhibited the Vincent's works. She shared his letters. She told his story. Today, Van Gogh is regarded as one of the greatest artists who ever lived. His paintings are worth millions. His life is taught in schools. His Starry Night, sunflowers, and self-portraits are icons. And his story of passion, pain, and perseverance continues to inspire